You might have heard that if an insurance company doesn't specifically ask about your criminal convictions, you're under no legal obligation to tell them. Well, that's true, but that question is on every single application form, and you'll get asked if you apply in person as well. Now, what if you're applying face-to-face and the insurance agent just forgets to ask you? Well, theoretically, you don't have to mention it, but hoping for someone to slip up isn't a great strategy. Comparison sites might not be the best way forward either. You see, these sites usually showcase the mainstream insurers that aren't really geared up towards convicted drivers. So you might end up with ridiculously high quotes and think that that's your only option. So don't fall for it. It's not the only option. Look for specialist comparison sites that focus on convicted or high-risk drivers. These platforms will give you a more balanced view of what's available and at what cost. Let's explore the types of driving convictions. There are minor offences like speeding, and then there are major ones like drink driving or reckless driving. The more severe your conviction, the higher your risk profile is, so this could lead to more than just a price hike, and some insurers might not even offer you coverage. But remember, not all convictions are equal. Lesser offences might see your rates go up just by a smaller margin compared to more serious convictions. In the UK, most driving convictions are considered spent after a certain period. That's thanks to the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act. If you're under 18, it's 2.5 years, and for adults, it's 5 years. But there are exceptions, especially for serious offences. Don't leave it to guesswork. Call the DVLA to know exactly when your conviction becomes spent. Once it's spent, you legally don't have to mention it to insurers, even if they ask. So, you have a conviction and you're looking for cheaper insurance. How do you go about it? Well, you'll need to shop around, and I mean compare as many as you can. Don't just get 1 or 2 quotes, aim for at least 5 from different insurers, including those that specialise in high risk or convicted drivers. Compare not just the premiums, but also what's covered. Lower price doesn't always mean better, especially if it leaves you vulnerable. If you're feeling lost, head to online forums. You'll find tons of real-world advice from people who've been in your shoes. Remember though, while it's helpful for getting a lay of the land, it's not official guidance. Always double-check any advice that you receive. Remember, a conviction makes things tougher, but not impossible. Finding affordable cover after a conviction or points is getting harder, and it can feel like most providers are just taking advantage of you. Thankfully, you can still find competitive rates by looking at companies that are sympathetic to your situation. We've partnered with QuoteZone to find you the best specialist deals for convicted drivers. So click the link below the video to access our simple form and get a quote from the right providers in just a few minutes. And if you use that link, you'll also be supporting Money Nerds, so thanks.